Dryer system, one of the most sought after thing. You all have been asking me. I haven't taught yet how to make a dryer. Actually, I have covered it in our previous live webinar also, but I will again explain it. We all already know about how to sun dry our mushrooms. Okay, in fact, all varieties of mushroom can be sun dried. But the problem with sun drying is sun is not a reliable thing. Always there won't be sun shining above. There might be rain, consistent rain, and during winter time there might be fogs. When the fog is very high and the sun is very low, the quality of mushroom won't be good. Okay, so but you can hear me, na? Okay. So, in order to have a complete control over your mushroom farm, I always recommend each and every farmer to at least have a dryer system. Why? Because there might be some reasons like COVID or certain difficulties in the market or election or any strike, whatever. When your mushroom might not be sold in the market, there might be difficulty on certain days in your place as well. Suppose flooding has happened or something might have happened during those days, or otherwise if it's rain continuously, or if your client want good quality dry mushrooms, you cannot always rely upon the sun. You must have a backup system. So you should be having a dryer. But the problem with dryer is that initially when you are starting up, nobody want to spend a lot of money, 4 5 lakh rupees for a dryer system. Okay, so I will explain a method using which you can really create your own dryer, and by using it you can easily able to dry not only mushrooms but a lot of varieties of things. It's actually food dryer, food dehydrator. You can dry bananas or other vegetables also in it. So you can make your own dryer. If you try to buy a dryer from outside, the problem is the transportation cost is quite high, then the maintenance, and then the GST, everything just incurs and it becomes quite expensive. In future you might always want efficient dryer, you might procure it. But if you want to make your own dryer, so this is a dryer system, very simple. Imagine this is a dryer. After this, again, I will be showing you a practical video of a dryer room as well, which is using this system of dryer only. Okay. Here, the outer surface can be anything which is insulated. Insulated means what? It cannot be metallic. It cannot be metal. Otherwise, whatever heat for drying, we will need heat. So heat will again pass if it is metal. So we cannot use any metal. We can use brick. We can use cemented wall, or we can use plywood. Okay, we can use plywood or anything, pronto panel, puff panel, whatever you wish, of whatever size you wish. It's up to you. Just technology you need to understand. You can always improvise and make a huge building kind of dryer also, or very small dryer which can actually dry 10 kilogram of of mushrooms, or you can make hundreds of kilos of mushroom dried in a day if you are using this system. The main objective is the outer surface, whatever is it, it should be insulated. Remember, insulated, which doesn't let heat to pass out from inside. Then inside it, we will need a rack system. Why rack system? So that the heat which is inside of it can pass through it. So that all the mushrooms, whatever you keep in the racks can be of multiple layers also. This is just a demonstration. You need rack, and racks should be like this, porous, so that heat and air can pass through it. Okay, it should not be flat surface, it cannot be opaque surface, otherwise it will block the air passage. Then what happens inside a dryer? There is a heating element. A heater is attached. There can be 2 heaters or 3 heaters or 4 heaters. Generally 1 or 2 heater is sufficient in order to dry around 50 to 100 kilogram of mushrooms. Normal coil heaters of around 1 or 2 quantity is sufficient, but you can install more if you need it. Then what you need? These heater need to maintain temperature of around 40 to 50 degrees Celsius only. You don't need 100 degrees, 70 degree, 80 degree. If you want really good quality mushrooms, it is better to maintain moderate sunlight like temperature. You don't need very harsh hot weather inside of it. You just need a moderate temperature so that it can slowly evaporate the moisture inside of your mushroom. But what happens is that when the heating coil produces heat, heat remains here only. So inside a heater, you need a fan. This is just a model fan. It can be of a metal or whatever, which can withstand heat, quite normal heat, and it can blow the wind in powerful fashion. Okay, it can be there can be two or three fans as well, and you need it to circulate air inside it so that all the heat generated by the coils gets circulated. Just for example, how we normally let our clothes get dry in windy days or in sun. What we do, we just hang it. And do you think actually sun dries your cloth? That's not the only thing. The air which is blowing now, that is the main factor. The hot air blowing is actually the main thing which actually takes away all the moisture, all the moist the water inside from a food. And the moisture which will be releasing from the mushrooms needs to be discarded, otherwise it will again fall back. So there needs to be an exhaust system, powerful exhaust, which should be running as well, which will be taking out all the moisture away from the heater room. So this is a very simple system. I hope you just understood how to create your heater. Just make a room or a setup which is insulated. Okay, install two fans. One fan needs to be throwing the moisture from the mushrooms outside, and one needs to be the exhaust fan can be also installed, which is in the opposite direction, which will be blowing fresh air from outside. Okay, from outside the air will be blown so that the heating coil, which will be emitting a lot of heat, can actually circulate. The circulating air will be definitely drying the mushrooms. It will take around 7 to 12 hours to sufficiently dry mushrooms. I will show you a demonstration, you will better understand. Just check out the similar system. This is a dry room made of simple concrete. Even though racks were not installed here, just a simple wooden racks was used. This is a heating coil you are seeing emitting uh, heat. This is again another layer of mushroom. Similar wise, there can be a lot of mushrooms can be kept in this room. It can withstand 100 kilo of mushroom in one batch. Here you can see this was the video taken by me after 8 hours. These are simple oyster mushrooms. One day it couldn't be sold due to some weather difficulties, and we just dried it using this setup. And I will again play it for your better understanding. Here what is happening is the mushrooms were kept in the racks. The heater starts heating it. Only one heater was used as mushrooms were not much there. And in the upside there is a fan. You can see this is a ceiling fan. You can see this is a ceiling fan which is actually blowing the fan, blowing the hot air inside. As we need only 40-45 degree temperature, we don't need very high temperature. And the exhaust fan here, it is taking out all the excess air and temperature away. That's enough, and the mushrooms get dried easily. If this much of this big mushroom dryer we would have bought, it would have cost us around 6 to 7 lakhs easily. But we just built it ourselves. It costed me around 50,000, but it's sufficient, and it will be there for lifetime. Okay, so we are ending towards our session. Soon we will be starting our question answer session. And about the marketing,